Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So we are seeing that sell-off action after, of course, the ECB forum meeting, and we did see the GDP, report come out, which was not great at all. I'm still expecting some lower price action. I've been telling you guys that for a while. I have been, holding my cash on the sidelines. And I want to just say right now, before we officially jump into this video, the best advice that I can give to anyone, bull or even bear market advice, no matter where we are in this market, get rid of all your debt. No matter the amount of debt that you have, try to get rid of it as soon as you possibly can. And I know for some individuals it's easier than, others, but I want you guys to right now focus on things that are just a necessity. Do not overspend. Make sure that you are putting money aside because we are about to see generational bottoms within this market. And yes, I do believe that we will see those generational bottoms print in pretty soon. I think that we have a few weeks to months to accumulate at some nice low figures. But now is the time to make sure that you are not overspending, not over leveraging yourself, and only, paying for necessities and trying to get rid of all the debt that you possibly can. So with that in mind, let's dive in and let's talk about a few things going on around the world. So first and foremost, Britain, the United States, Japan, and Canada will ban new imports of Russian gold, which I think is an idiotic decision. It didn't work well at all with oil, and we actually do see that down here. Then it will be sold back to us as is oil, 100%. And we do see, where will it go? China, India, and other members in BRICS, and probably at a discount. Now, I want to put a focus on this because the BRICS, right? They have been, for the longest time, transitioning their systems. And now we actually have a little bit of a confirmation on things happening around this. We do see here the People's Bank of China is building a yuan reserve with 5 other nations in collaboration with the Bank for International Settlements. The elephant in the room, will China soon finally provide an update on its gold reserves? To me, this sounds like they are building out, a gold or a commodity-based, reserve. Now, what could go wrong here? It's the fact that the U.S. economy itself is falling greatly behind. And I do think that in regards to, the U.S. economy itself, we're basically just, taking a trip right off the cliff. And, to me personally, when we really kind of look at things happening around, for example, the ECB forum meeting today, it proves to me where we basically are. I have a ton of information in regards to that forum that I do want to talk to you guys about in a separate video because there's just so much staggering information to actually address. But when we really kind of look at where China is positioning themselves, this crypto believer down here, this, tweet down here is actually pretty true. We've seen China be one of the first to move in on a CBDC, on digital money. And I do think that China, for the most part, is moving forward in becoming a reserve currency. I think that the US dollar itself will start to lose its dominance as we do continue on. We cannot combat inflation. Every single thing that we are starting to do in regards to trying to combat it is just an idiotic decision. California, for an example. They are stimulating the economy yet again from California to combat inflation. Think about how stupid that is. All right? You are already at a massively inflated, area. And now what you want to do is print more money to combat it. It just does not make any sense. To me, it looks like they are trying to destroy the economy. And also, I just want to report on something actually. In regards to the EURUSD pair over on TradingView, when we look at this, could we be bottoming out here? It's hard to say. But I will say this. I have been watching this chart closely to see if we do break down below this level or if we have a strong impulse back up. Because this is what is going to happen. If we do break down below this, it means that the US dollar is going to start, rapidly increasing. And if we have a strong impulse here, it means that the US dollar is going to start dropping in value. This is what I'm waiting for. This is what I'm watching for as well. And we've seen this actually going back to March of 2020. During this time, the euro actually bottomed out and started to gain momentum, and it really kind of started to, stop gaining momentum around January 2021, which was at the same time the US dollar started to, do its major run to the current point that it is at now. So I thought that that was interesting, and I figured I would include that in the video as well. Now, I also want to share with you guys this video from Brooks Entwistle of Ripple. Listen closely to this.
We had to go away after developing the XRP ledger and XRP and created the company Ripple and build a use case, which is RippleNet, which we've spent years building across 55 plus countries with global world-class banks, many in this region, and really exciting, forward-looking, forward-thinking fintechs and PSPs that also want to be on that network. But we built it on a fiat-based system because we needed to start there. We needed to have a proof case that we could use our technology to begin to move value across the internet, across a payments infrastructure that is still to this day slow, antiquated, costly, inefficient. Transaction speeds 3 to 5 days, no end-to-end visibility. Did your money get there? Did it get to your family where it's desperately needed, not in 3 to 5 days, but in the next hour? It simply wasn't built for this world that we're living in now. So we've, for a long time, focused on using crypto and blockchain for cross-border payments with instant settlement, drawing from global liquidity, lines of credit, et cetera. And we believe that there is a bridge here that we've built. And as we think about what we've done in the last year, as we've turned this fiat-based payment system on with crypto and digital assets, 25% of our volume on the network now is done with our on-demand liquidity product, which is putting XRP on these rails, driving settlements and the movement of value extremely fast, extremely efficiently, in a way that is absolutely documented and is done with a very much of an environmentally green approach behind all of it. So we're excited about where this goes, but the fiat basis of what we started is important. So this element of traditional finance and the role in all that we're trying to do is still important. If we do our job and bring traditional finance along with what we're trying to do here, wow, it is an absolutely open field to run on. And we're very much seeing that open field running right now for all of us.
And, you know, when we really kind of look at it in a broad eye view, you're like, yes, the technology around this is absolutely revolutionary. And we actually do see this quote from a digital asset investor. You know, he's saying, you know, there's going to be a day where people will say, you know, wait a minute, you owned XRP before it went mainstream. I feel sorry for anyone who has not seen what we've seen. The truth is right in front of your eyes. And it truly is. Like, we are seeing, you know, a description, a basis on things. And you could call it marketing if you want. You know, they're marketing XRP if you want. It doesn't matter. The proof is right there. Like, you could see 25% of on-demand liquidity volume is accounting for Ripple's overall transactional, you know, values and also movement. So when we really kind of look at things happening even around like Ripple and adoption, like XRP is a part of that adoption. And when we really talk about XRP going mainstream, what do I think is going to allow XRP to go mainstream? Not only is it on-demand liquidity, you know, volume and traction, but I do believe that regulations are going to push it into the limelight. And I do think that we are very close to that point. We actually did see, you know, a little bit of a leaked plan around what the SEC is trying to do from Johnny Deaton. And we do see here, John Deaton explains in less than a minute what everyone in crypto needs to understand about the legal stakes for them in the SEC Gov versus Ripple XRP case. Listen closely to this.
Said there's no clear lanes, but they do this deliberately. You think they deliberately leave these gray areas?
Oh, absolutely. Because if you provide guidelines, what do entrepreneurs and companies do, Charles? They meet those guidelines. When you
Also, he's talking about the guidelines around, you know, what the SEC is really trying to give us in regards to, hey, this is what you can't do in quotation marks, because it doesn't really give us any sort of, you know, limelight. That's why he's talking about like the gray lines. But listen closely.
You keep it uncertain, it gives you options for him to continue to engage in regulation by enforcement, right? That's how he's doing it. I went on record to say that, to predict that he's going to sue an exchange or two by the end of this year and claim that they're selling unregistered securities other than Bitcoin, but he won't tell you which ones are securities.
Right.
You know, that's the problem.
Right. And it's hard to be ignorant of a law that if the law doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Like,
absolutely.
It's one thing to say, okay, I didn't know, and it was on the books, but it's really despicable.
It's disgusting,
really,
is what it is. He keeps going on record to saying these exchanges are selling securities. And then you ask, well, which ones? And he won't say, because now we know from his comment that you just asked me about, he's going to go with they're all securities except for Bitcoin, which makes this Ripple XRP case extremely important.
And this is the truth. Like, when we really look at what's happening around the SEC, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. It's not the fact that, like, oh, it's just disgusting because, we're invested into XRP. No, that's not it. We're seeing it being pushed around Bitcoin becoming, a commodity, basically. It's just the only one that has, regulation, clarity around it, if you will. All other crypto assets are on, they're basically on the edge right now. Everyone that's investing into, Algorand, even ADA, XLM, HBAR, etc., you are living on the edge, because if we lose this lawsuit, all assets besides Bitcoin, are a security. And that's a big issue. That's why this case is so fundamentally, important for XRP to win. Because again, it's for the entire crypto space. This will push the crypto space to trillions and trillions of dollars in market cap value, and it will allow for doors to open for crypto to truly be flooded into everyday life for adoption and utility. But again, we do not get there without a clear cut and dry win. That's why this case is so incredibly bullish for crypto, and it's so important for Ripple to win. That's why anybody in crypto, whether you like XRP or not, should be supporting Ripple. And also, from Empower Oversight, listen closely to this as well. This is a 26-second clip.
Nobody connected the dots at the SEC. It doesn't look like. The people who were in charge of making sure that Mr. Hinman didn't violate his ethical obligations, didn't succeed in doing that. They allowed him to participate in this speech, and so the question is, did they know?
Right.
Did they know about the implications of the speech for his former employer? Nobody connected the dots.
And when we really kind of look at this, it's something like, it's insane to me how the SEC is even still operating. Okay, you had Hinman get warned on multiple occasions about his ethical, concerns, right? They were concerned about his ethical obligations, and he continuously, went against those, warnings, did exactly what those warnings were intended for him not to do. And again, they allowed it. They allowed him to participate in this speech. They allowed him, to, basically go out there and say, hey, Ethereum is, a commodity. It's good. Invest in it. That's a problem. No, no implications, no issues, and they continue to, just tout the idea that, listen, it was his opinion. It was his opinion. That was it. This is an issue. I can't believe the SEC is still operating right now. I still can't believe that after all this time, crypto is still being dragged through the dirt by the SEC, while, investor after investor is getting hurt by, every single day that this SEC lawsuit drags on. And these are still people that, went against the ethics and are still able to be out there, doing their job, doing their thing. It just makes no sense to me. What do you guys think about that down in the comments below? And also, last but not least, I just want to share with you guys this. And this goes back to April. And the reason why I bring this back up is because fair notice defense. We do see here, this is from Jeremy Hogan, by the way. Smart article in Reuters by attorney, Cap on the Ripple case. Look at the end where she, talks about the significance of the fair, notice defense ruling. She points out the decision was significant as it opens the door for future defendants to get discovery from the SEC. Bingo. Listen closely to this, right? So, furthermore, if the court were to permit Ripple to build its fair notice defense, around what statements the SEC did and did not make to Ripple or XRP holders generally, that would be a novel and powerful extension of the fair notice defense. That would give digital asset defendants in securities litigation significant leverage in defending enforcement actions. To me, that fair notice defense is actually probably one of the best arguments from Ripple's standpoint, because there was no fair notice at all. Ripple was not warned. They met with the SEC on multiple occasions. And again, even if you go look at the library case, right? The library case is also significant because it's around the exact same thing that Ripple is getting sued for. they also did not get any fair notice. Fair notice is basically getting thrown out the window, getting ignored, and it's all because there's gray lines, similar to this video over here. There's gray lines that no crypto, no crypto company can really kind of play into, because again, nobody knows exactly what it means to be a security or not in crypto, because again, there's no guidelines, there's no clear guidelines. This is a problem. This is why this lawsuit makes absolutely no sense. There's no substance from the SEC side. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.